Right, hello guys, watching the Geeks and one day we're talking about The Walking Dead. Yes, Series 6, Episode 9 to 16. We've talked about all six series now up to this point, which is crazy, and I'm really enjoying this. It's such good fun, and yeah, let's go with Episode 9 to 16. We talked about the first half of the Series 6 already because it was such a big series, we split it in half, so check it out, and all the other series. But yes, let's go, episode 9 to 16. So, there's a lot happened from the impact of last time, but we have Daryl and Rick going for supplies. Hunting, they find this truck, and it turns out to be quite a comedic thing, which we don't tend to get to often in this show. So I love the impact we have with Daryl and Rick. And then Jesus in the mix, not Jesus, but Walking Dead Jesus in the mix, and then him losing their food and then taking Jesus back to their camp and learning he has his own camp and deals with other camps, so the world has got even bigger for them. And they go to Jesus's camp for deals, basically trade. Rick's trade to here and the Jesus camp's trade, and we have basically that going on. But then Jesus camp's being taken by this guy who I have no clue. I keep forgetting the name of. He's very important, it looks like, going forward. And he has a group as well. A massive, massive group. Probably about 50 people, let's be honest. I have no clue. That's how big it is. So, yeah, they go around taking stuff from other people's camp because of how big the numbers are and how much this guy has respect. This bad guy, who we get to in the very end on episode 16, which actually gets left on the cliffhanger, which I'm going to do a prediction of who I think's got hit at the end, so stay tuned. But yes, so we have Jesus' camp being taken by this big ass guy, and Rick thinks they're just blabbing their numbers, it's not real. So then Rick tries to take out someone else, which now gets the big bad guy of the series on Rick's radar. Rick's on his radar now because he's took some of his men out, which then leads to him sending more men to take out Rick or Rick's people. When Rick takes them out again, this guy gets serious and angry and starts showing off his power towards the finale, which is very interesting and cool. But yes, also that guy who plays Jesus in this, he's from Wortley Road. I actually know one of the actors for a change, which is kind of cool. But yeah, we also have Carol going off on her own. She's fed up of killing people because Megan and Carol got took and captured, and then there was going to be a deal between Rick and stuff. But these people that were captured, Carol and Meg, were planning to take out Rick and stuff. So Megan and Carol fought back and took out everyone, really. And so they didn't really need saving. Strong, independent women, eh? But no, that was a nice, interesting twist. The capturers save themselves, and by the time Rick's got there, everything's all kind of done. But there's a big name, the tease throughout all these series, that I've even forgotten for somehow, but it's the big bad guy. They're trying to find out who he is and stuff like this. Yeah, I like the tease. Also, Daryl saved these people early on, and then comes back to haunt him, and he's gonna wish he took out someone. So this woman who's a medical person of our group goes off to a pharmacy with Daryl and this other woman, and we basically go off for the pharmacy supplies. And then she kind of has a whole episode on her own, so we get to learn more about her. And then when she's giving this heroic speech to this woman and Daryl, she just gets an arrow straight through her eye and dies. And you're like, what? Turns out to be our main bad guys, like Army, doing it. And then later on, they go off, and then Daryl comes back to try and take out the guy who took basically the guy that he saved before he wished he killed was the guy who shot the arrow through that woman. So he goes hunting for him, and then doesn't go to plan. Daryl and the woman with the sword and Glenn all get captured and then took to the finale. So that's them kind of done, and Rick doesn't know how they've gone. Carol goes off wandering off because she feels guilty, killing all the time and stuff like this. And we have Morgan chasing her and having that debate and sort of thing. And then Carol takes out an army of people, which comes back to later for her to get beaten. But our guy Morgan saves her, which is cool because they have a massive conflict between the two. So it's kind of nice they're civiling it out in certain ways and showing that strength their group has connected them together, I guess, in a way. But also, he kind of, after Carol's injured from being shot left, right, centre, Morgan takes care of her. And that's kind of where they're left off. We also have our group. Megan, something goes wrong with her baby. They need a doctor. Rick and a load of our main characters go off on the RV trying to get to a place. But our main bad guy of the series has blocked off the road from one end with a massive army and another end on the other. And now the RV's stuck in between. Every time Rick goes that way, problem. Every time he goes that way, problem. So then they decide to get out the RV and go on foot through the forest with one person taking the RV back and forth to try and trick them. But obviously our main character gets them to where he wants them to be. And a row of all our characters are kneeling down, ready to meet the main boss, the evil guy. He's like Thanos. He's like built up to be, at least. Of course, Daryl and the woman, the swords and stuff, they get booted out the vans and put back down, so you know that they're all here. And our main guy makes an entrance with a little bat, and he's showing off, and he's got a massive army, and he's telling Rick what Rick said he was going to help the other people, Jesus's camp. You know, these people are taking half of every crop, everything our characters own. Because he can, because he has the numbers. And he tells Rick this: you give us your stuff or you die. And that's how it's left off. And obviously Rick being Rick. But all our characters kneeling. But he said, you killed too many of my men. I sent men to kill you, you killed them. I sent more men to kill you, you killed them. And I don't like that. You took too many of my men. So one of you have to get beaten. One of you have to get got. Done. Dunzo. And this guy is teasing everyone. He's about to kill Meg, who's pale as anything, weak, because her baby is kind of killing her. She needs a doctor. And Glenn's like, no! And then he gets put back in his place. He's teasing Rick's son, who's got the patch. And he's going to say, anyone moves, we take out the boy's next eye and give it to his father, left hand, blah, blah, blah. You know, he's doing threats. It's all chaos. And then, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. And he hits the person, and we don't get to see who he's hit. And the characters there's just a screen. You just see the screen pouring with blood, and then go, and the credits are rolling, and you just hear it. And no one's allowed to move until after the guy's done beating up this person. Otherwise, they're all in shit. So, yeah, this is mental. It just shows how powerful this dude is, where his head's at. He wants to show his authority, how much empire, power of people he's got around him. So my prediction, who got? I think, because also on the DVD, because I've been watching obviously from the shows, it has Glenn on the DVD, and Glenn was the one that moved out, and Glenn had the fake death earlier on in the episodes. I think it could be Glenn, the scientific dude who knows how to make bullets, and he lied saying he could save the world and stuff. I think it could be an easy way to get rid of him, or it could be Rick's son, how much they've been taunting that. So I think either Rick's son, Glenn, or the scientist dude's going to get got. And I'm placing my money on Glenn. I think Glenn's the one to die and get dunzo. So that's my thoughts and opinions, guys. I'm going to rank this out of 10 now, Series 6. I think it's a step up in the right direction past Series 5, because I was very negative on Series 5. But I think all the other series are really good. So I'm going to give this series an 8.5. It's gone back to the 8.5 standard. It hasn't dropped. That's my thoughts and opinions on The Walking Dead Series 6. Join me for Series 7. Next time, I'll see you guys from a review very soon. Have a nice day.